In our third and final installment on managing the Linux boot process, we're going to start investigating the init scripts in the /init.d directory and how we can start and stop them if we need to. We'll also look at checkconfig, and checkconfig allows us to actually set a service to either be on or off when the system starts up. Now let's take a look at what's going on behind the scenes when we're actually switching run levels. So let's log in. Alrighty, clear my screen, Control L. Now before I get into the init scripts and the RC directories, what I'm going to show you, and we originally started out talking about that boot comes up and grub comes up, I should say, and goes through stage 1, stage 2, gets the kernel going, and the kernel starts init. Well, where is init? The term init is used in so many different ways, but there literally is a process called init. And if we type ps-ef and actually grep for init, what we see is this right here. This is the init process. Ignore this down here. That's just the grep coming through. So this is the init process. Now, as you know, and I've mentioned before in other parts of this, the system doesn't care about names. The system's all about numbers. And so processes are immediately given what's called a PID, a process ID. And you'll notice right here, what we're looking at here is the ID of init is 1. 0 was the actual kernel process handing off to it. So actually init is the first process on the system. Everything else from there is a child of init. So you can see init's been quite active. We have almost 3,200 child objects right now on the system. Or yeah, no, we actually, I shouldn't say 32. We almost have 3,300 child objects on the system right now. So that is what we talk about when we actually say init. So, init 5, init 6, running the run levels and things like that. That's manipulating the run levels, but this is actually the init process itself. Another way to look at this, you can actually see it quite nicely this way, is to run the pstree command. And this shows you all the processes in a hierarchy. And if we go all the way up to the top, right? Look at that, right there. Init. And all of these other things that are spawning off of here are children of that initial process. And this, so for instance, these would be the child. This would be the child of the network manager, and the network manager is the child of init, and so on. So we got grandparents and parents and children going on here, and lots of other spawned off processes. But that's a good way to really see just how important init is. If you kill init, damage init, destroy init, the system goes away, basically, when you're doing a complete restore. And I've done that, really. It's quite an experience. All right, so let's Control L clear this. Next thing we'll look at is we're going to go into the RC scripts and see what's happening when we move around these run levels. All right, so here we go. Let's go into etc rc.d. All right, and I'll press enter. And what I'm going to do is do an LL. Now, here are all these RC directories, and inside of those directories are scripts. They either start things or stop things. Well, actually, they start things or kill things, right? That's what they are. They're kill scripts and stop scripts in here. And you'll notice they correspond to the run levels. So when you go into run level 0, which is halt on the system, I'm suspecting that if we go into that directory, we're going to see a lot of things dead in there, right? Because it's what's going down. Let's see. And all we see is, see how everything is getting killed? Okay, kill. Everything is dying, and what they're starting down here is the halt command. So this is what you would expect. And so this is what's happening behind the scenes when you're switching those run levels. So when I switch from run level 0, well, if I turn it on again, if I switch from run level 1, we'll go up 1. There you go. if I go up here, what we're seeing here are all the things that are either being killed or started in run level 1. So once again, run level 1, kind of safe mode, right? There's lots of things that are being stopped, and you can see the services that are being stopped. So they're not running just so we can get in here and fix things, right? So you can see we're in single mode. Now if we go up one more level, I'll do another list, and we'll go into run level 3 this time. Now we're starting to see, if I switch from run level 1 to run level 3, look what happens. Lots of things. Some things are being stopped, right? It's kind of interesting. So some things are being stopped also at this run level, but many more are being started. So a lot of services are coming up in run level 3. And you'll see that same type of process taking place when you switch to run level 5, for instance. The same stuff happens there. Fascinating. And you can manipulate these scripts, and you can change the scripts, and you can create your own run and start and kill scripts if you want to. Now the interesting thing is, if a process is being started in 2 levels, so for instance run level 5 and run level 3, they do a lot of the same thing. The only thing they don't do the same is the GUI. So when you switch from level 3 to level 5, it's not going to kill anything if it's already started in 3. So if it's started in 3 and started in 5, it's smart enough not to go through a killing process on that and then restarting it again. It'll leave it alone and just switch into that run level. So that's intelligent switching of init levels there. But this is what we see. This is what's actually happening behind the scenes. This is a close look of what's going on here. All right, in the next one, we're going to look at the init.d directory. In the init.d directory, we actually have these services, and we can start and stop them. See right there, it says init.d, right? We can start and stop network. And we're going to look at actually starting services or applications, if that sounds better, on the fly when we're right here. So we need to restart something, stop something, check the status on something. We can do that from the init.d directory. And then we'll look at, well, we got to make this permanent. You know, we always want networking to start up. How do we do that also? And we'll look at all that in the next